I have gotten a decent amount of inquiries about the fire districts and whether or not there is some energy or noise or discussion around potential changes with respect to the management of fire districts. And what I often tell people is that rumors are unconfirmed lies. Sure. And so if you could maybe comment for my benefit, and I'll certainly share it with my neighbors about what might be happening, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. So I'll hit that first, and then I do have a couple of comments I'd like to make. Sure. Following up on your affordable housing issue comments. So as you know, we just went through a process where there were fire district elections. I know when you were mayor that you served on various committees and acted as a liaison to various groups. When I became mayor, because it's the background that I came from, I've been in the fire service in Howell Township for 20 years and 30 years overall in my life. I was a fire commissioner. I think I know a fair amount about how fire districts work. The governing body agreed for me to be the liaison to a group that was then referred to as the Joint Board of Fire Commissioners. Since that very first day, there has always been conversation, as there is with every other taxing entity, boards of ed, library, the county. We always have conversations with our peers about providing services, increasing services, and decreasing costs. There's nothing new here. Those conversations have been going on for years. I believe that the issue that many people are asking about now is, as many things get distorted in social media, there was a clip of a Board of Fire Commissioners district minutes of their meeting. And there was a comment there that a particular fire commissioner brought up to their board that I asked for districts to be consolidated. That is not true. The meeting that that fire commissioner was actually referring to was a meeting that he actually requested of myself as well as Mr. Mayfield. We met at a diner and we talked about all things inclusive fire service throughout Howell Township, and it was not confined to just one district. We have those conversations continuously. And yes, there are some issues there relative to funding and taxes and things like that, just like there are with every tax that we talk about. And yes, there are some conversations that are going on relative to, are there better ways to provide uniform services within all 5 fire districts, and what is the role of the municipality to do that? At no time have I ever publicly said that I am in favor of consolidating anything. And even if that was to occur, it does not have anything to do with the number of firehouses we have, the response time to emergencies, all of these things that people who are not in the know that would like to just go and post because these things stick. But none of that is true. And all of the district budgets have now passed as of Saturday. And the next time there's another Joint Board of Fire Commissioners meeting, I'll be there. And we're going to continue to have the same conversations and continue to work on behalf of all of the citizens of Howell. And by the way, although it's not always a very comfortable conversation amongst that group, and I understand that, I think there's some people that are coming up with some very positive things to do. They've actually formed a legal entity which didn't exist until several months ago, so the Joint Board of Fire Commissioners actually is a legal entity now. They're having conversations amongst themselves for shared services amongst the 5 districts, for professional services for physicals, vehicle maintenance, joint purchasing of simple things like equipment and protective clothing. None of those conversations were taking place before, and they are now. So again, it's not because I'm bringing it up, it's because there's 25 people that are committed to doing good things and protect people and do it at a cost-effective basis. So there is no news, there's nothing crazy going on, but again, that's what social media does these days. But I'm glad that you asked and gave me the opportunity to clarify.
And thank you for the clarity, Mayor. I appreciate it.
Sandra Solly, Birdsall Road, Farmingdale.
Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't going to say anything about the fire district, but somebody else brought it up.
Okay.
And I am in District 1.
Yep.
And that's the one that was in question.
Yep.
Mr. Kaufman had come out many times over the years and asked the council to equalize the tax payment on the people in District 1. We've got like 1,000 people in District 1 to vote, to pay taxes. And like Southard has 7,000 people.
Well, it's not the number of people, it's the ratables.
Yeah, but you have to charge more. If we only got 1,000 people and Southard's got 7,000.
It's not the number of people, it's the ratables.
So then why are we paying 3 times as much as you pay?
Because you don't have the ratables. because that particular
Well, I
district,
understand too, we don't have any businesses.
right.
But the thing is, we were District 1, we were created first, and then number 2 was created second.
They were all created at the same time.
So, no, they weren't.
Yes, they were. All 5 districts were created.
Are
at
they
the
all
same-
50 years old?
Yes.
What?
Fire districts. You're confusing,
Fire has what?
you're confusing fire district with fire company. They're not the same. All 5 fire districts were created at the same time.
Wait a minute, was Freewood Acres created the same year?
Fire company or fire district? There's a difference.
You wanted me to keep it short, and now you're getting...
Yeah, but I can't let you, but I can't let you,
Debate.
okay, I can't let you come up here and say something that's not true.
All I know is Squonkam is like 50 years old, and they were the first fire...
Fire company. Correct. You're asking me about a fire district. That's not the same thing.
I'm talking about the taxes that we pay in
So you're,
District...
so you're talking about a fire
District
district.
1.
Fire District 1.
District 1, which
Yes.
is regulated by the fire company.
No,
No.
they are regulated by an elected board of 5 fire commissioners that
You know
represent
what?
the fire
I don't
district.
really care about that.
Well, you should,
All I
because that's a
know-
big difference.
No. My fire tax was $647 when Ramtown and Freewood Acres was paying 200 and something.
Okay?
And it's been excessively high for the 42 years that I've lived in Howell.
I understand that.
And it's not going anywhere soon because we've only got 1,000 people. They were supposed to give us Equestra to balance us out, and Equestra went to District 27 instead. So we
Well,
still got like 1,000 people.
Equestria was never being given to anybody because it's built in District 2.
I was
So,
told by the election board.
well, the election board
in the
has nothing,
county.
the election board has nothing to
I
do
was
with districting a
told
fire
they were
district.
gonna- When they created that new development, those people had to go somewhere.
Right. They go in the district where the development was built, which was District 2.
But, no,
Yes.
Equestria's not in District 2.
Adelphi,
27.
Equestria is in Fire District 2.
Not voting districts.
I
Fire
know where
District 2.
Equestria is.
It is in Fire District
I
2.
was told by the Board of Elections, or those people who make those decisions, when they
The Board of Elections doesn't make a decision as to what fire district a property
Well,
resides
why
in.
did somebody in the county tell me that?
I don't know who told you what, but what you're saying is not correct.
Well, then I'll have to call them back and tell them they lied.
No problem. Have them give me a call. I'd like to hear it too, because that doesn't make any sense.
Well, anyway, we paid more taxes than anybody else in this town,
Yes,
in District 1.
fire tax.
Yes.
That's correct.
So is that what's going to be equalized?
There's nothing being equalized.
I still don't understand why I have to pay $600 when the other 4 districts are paying 200 and something for
Because
their...
the district you
fire
live in
service.
doesn't have the ratables to support their tax rate the same as the other districts do.
So you're saying that the people that live in a district don't have anything to do with the tax money that goes back to the district to run the firehouses?
I'm not sure what that meant,
Maybe
and
you
I,
explain to
You're
her
not explaining
how,
it right.
how the funding process happens
Okay.
by apportionment with,
there's five fire districts. Each fire district is responsible for putting together a budget, just like we did.
I understand all that.
then that's the
Okay,
answer.
so let me
I
continue.
wanna know when-
So let me continue.
When Mr.
Let me continue.
The poor man go, he's got an emergency.
So,
He's asking me questions.
well,
Go, he's got an emergency. We'll run that next meeting.
when they put together the budget, it includes the expenditures. The amount that they get to be raised by taxation is whatever businesses and residential tax-paying entities are within that particular district. There is not as much ratables to support the budget that that particular district puts in their budget every year. That's all there is to it.
So proportionally, you're paying higher.
So
because-
proportionally, you're paying a higher tax rate than other districts. They actually happen to have one of the lowest amounts of their total dollar budget is actually one of the lower, but, well,
Not that low.
ma'am,
Before, a couple of years ago, it wasn't $1 million, now it's over $1 million.
Sandra,
it's catching up to
it's actually, it's not over $1 million. That's not correct either.
Squonkam is not over $1 million,
No, it is
the
not.
budget?
No, it is not.
How much is it?
It's under it. I think it's in the low 900s if I remember it right.
Well, that's so close to $1 million.
Okay, but you said that it was over $1 million. It's not.
I know,
Okay?
but all I want to know is Mr. Kaufman came in and wanted you to equalize the amount that people paid in the
Right,
different fire
but
districts.
to go and do that, it would mean that everybody else's fire tax would have to go up. These are the exactly what you're asking is what the conversations are that are now taking place at the Joint Board of Fire Commissioner level. There is no plan put in place right now. They're doing all the steps that they should be doing. They're talking about sharing services. They're talking about equal payments for things like equipment and their career staff. They're talking about sharing, bringing in vendors to be able to do things in 5 districts instead of 1 district. All of the things that, quite honestly, they probably should have been talking about 20 years ago. Those things will have a positive impact on the District 1 fire tax. At some point, will there be a conversation about consolidating that district altogether? Maybe. But it's not going on now because they're doing these steps first. And these are the steps that they should be doing, and I support that.
Well, anyway, Mr. Kaufman came out and he was told that because the fire district was created by ordinance, that nothing could be done. But if you create something with an ordinance, you can take it away with another ordinance.
There's a
So-
process in place according to state statute that would allow for disillusionment of, or disbanding of fire districts. It is not just an action that the governing body can do. It would require a certain process and a referendum and a vote and
I mean, it goes all the way from Farmingdale down to the library. That's a lot of miles. And no businesses except Mulligan's and Bear Swamp Creek.
we understand. That's
That's
what,
it.
that's what the problem is.
Yeah, Grahamtown has a nice couple little shopping malls.
I
So
understand.
why can't we get one in District 1?
Oh, well, this isn't the board that approves where strip malls go, so
Whatever. Keep it in mind that we pay 2/3 more than anybody else in the Township of Howell. Thank you.
thank you.